from an experience of visiting London about 10 years ago to check out some universities with my girlfriend, and I had this strange kind of naive daydream of imagining myself in London in the future, and this really powerful emotion of that I couldn't really describe, so I ended up realising it was a feeling of ambivalence, and then I kind of tried to reflect on it musically. So hopefully the kind of title and the meaning will be more personal to each listener rather than being something about my life specifically. I mean, there is a bit of a danger if you're working on your own to become stagnant, because your own perspective can become quite conditioned, and you know, sometimes it takes someone else to kind of point out a different way of looking at something or a different way of listening to something. When I have worked with other people and something's happening, something good's happening, I get a buzz off that I don't get on my own. So in some ways I feel like I'm missing out by being alone, but it's just so difficult to find other people that you've got the right chemistry with without becoming... I don't want to be the kind of megalomaniac leader, and I don't want to become like the session musician. So it's not necessarily like a strong choice to be a solo musician. It's more a case of just I want to get on with it, and I haven't necessarily found anyone yet to work with that, you know, that I've got the right chemistry with. It's very rare that I tend to kind of have an idea of what a track's going to be like in the first instance. It tends to be a lot of spontaneity, a lot of improvisation. But as far as like texture and sound and stuff like that, it can be quite overwhelming sometimes to consider that there's so many different things you could do with a track. You know, you could end up doing 1,000 different versions if you really wanted to. But the best tracks, the tracks that I enjoy the most, are the ones that it just flows. It's like a snowballing effect. One idea creates another, and that idea creates the next. And sometimes the ideas come quicker than you can respond to them, and you start getting really excited because you think, you know, you don't want to have your dinner, you don't want to have a cup of tea because you feel like, you know, you're going to lose an idea. So far I've used a sampler which I can kind of live. It'll have pre-recorded stuff that I can trigger live and rearrange. So there's an element of improvisation. I've used the guitar live over the top of that. So it's kind of like playing guitar over a backing track, but the backing track can be altered in real time as well. I have got plans to involve other musicians in the future, but obviously that's going to take some time to kind of work with that. But yeah, I'd like to eventually maybe even get a live Bibio band together. I record sounds for the fun of it. It's a bit of an obsession really. Sometimes it can be quite a burden, like when you go on holiday and you're taking a reel-to-reel with you. You should be relaxing. It has a bit of an obsession that I'm actually trying to control a little bit. Sometimes I have an idea and I want to go and capture a sound. Like in Ambivalence Avenue, there's like a very faint city kind of mumble that I wanted it to sound like it was in Hyde Park or something, with a big city around you. But I was in Wolverhampton, so I had to kind of fake it by making multiple recordings and layering them and putting reverb and stuff on them to make it sound like it was a wide city. But a lot of the time I just record things without any intention to use them musically. I'm working on my live set at the moment, so I don't want to promise anything, to be honest. I'm still kind of playing with ideas and working out what I want to do live.